It's hot outside, we're deep into the summer season, and I'm in the mood for more summer slasher movies. Up next is The Burning, newly released on 4K from Scream Factory. When I was a kid, one of the local video stores, Sight and Sound, had this hard plastic clamshell version of the film to rent. My friend and I were intrigued by the summary, and we chose it and Witch Trap to watch on that Friday night back in the early 90s. Now I know this because I used to actually keep a list of the movies we would rent when my friend would spend the night. I had him rate the films, and you will notice he gave Witch Trap 3 out of 5 stars, and The Burning has no rating. Well, that's because the VHS ended up being broken, and I wasn't able to see the movie until a few years later. The Burning opens at Camp Blackfoot with a group of teens planning a prank on the caretaker. Apparently Cropsy is cruel to the kids, and he's a drunk, so they want some revenge. But the prank goes horribly wrong, and he ends up engulfed in flames. I love the scene with the orderly showing off Cropsy's badly burnt body to a doctor. The guy's description is classic.
Man, this guy's burned so bad, he's cooked. A fucking Big Mac. Overdone. You know what I mean?
I kinda want a Big Mac now. So years later, Cropsy is released from the hospital and makes his way back to camp. And wouldn't you know, a group of campers are there, ready to satisfy Cropsy's thirst for revenge. Oh, and his weapon of choice is a pair of garden shears. The Burning is probably my favorite Friday the 13th ripoff. It has it all: a deformed killer, campers in the woods, and gore effects by the legendary Tom Savini. Savini famously turned down the chance to work on Friday the 13th Part 2 and chose this film instead. And the gore delivers. It's some of his best work ever, shown here in all of its uncut glory. I also love the score by Rick Wakeman. It's so damn catchy, with my favorite part being this piece of music here. Good stuff. I need to find this on CD. The cast is made up of many familiar faces who would go on to become pretty big stars, including Jason Alexander and Holly Hunter. This was actually the first film that Bob and Harvey Weinstein did. Bizarrely enough, Harvey Weinstein has a created by credit. I don't think I've ever seen that in a movie before. The movie is beautifully directed by Tony Maylam, acting is solid all around, and yeah, this one is a classic. Now there were a few things that bugged me though. First off, there's some day for night stuff here, which is when something is shot during the day, but it's made to look like nighttime. But I will say, this new 4K edition from Scream Factory grades the day for night scenes a bit darker, and they do look better for the most part. But the main issue I have with the film is the climax. Apparently those idiot Weinsteins took the film away from the director and forced changes to the ending. Some things never change, huh? So for whatever reason, they reworked the climax without the director's input and added a jump scare where one of the leads finds a dead body. But the problem is, the dead body is a poorly matted still frame from earlier in the film. You can even still see part of the tree that the character was standing in front of. It's sloppy, and again, it takes me out of the movie. But these aren't huge problems or anything, just a few little things that bothered me. Overall, this is a true 80s horror classic and one of the best slasher movies of the 80s. It really is. Scream Factory has given this a brand new 4K restoration from the original camera negative with Dolby Vision, and it looks beautiful. The details, the colors, black levels, wow. It's like watching the movie for the first time. The previous edition was one of Scream Factory's early releases, so a new restoration was long overdue, and this one delivers. Now I would have liked a new Dolby Atmos sound mix, but the DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 mono still sounded great. All of the amazing extras from their previous release have been ported over. Commentaries, interviews, behind the scenes footage, tons of stuff. And it's all fantastic. Aside from the Friday the 13th series, The Burning is a perfect summer slasher flick. It's just a ton of fun, and this new restoration is a sight to behold. So check it out and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe.